What's up, YouTube? It's Baby from the Zen Doc here. If you're new to my channel, welcome. If you're not, welcome back. I am a mixed media artist and a sculptor, and I love to document my process and share art tutorials to hopefully inspire you on your journey as well. And in today's video, we're going to be making a freeform wall sculpture together. So I'm really excited. I hope you are as well. To get started, I have a piece of a wire mesh sheet here. It's pretty sturdy. It did arrive folded into two, which is kind of why it looks like this. But as a next step, I will be taking some time to work with this mesh, bend it into a shape that I like and I want my sculpture to be. If you're doing this, take note that the wire mesh is really sharp. It's best that you wear gloves. Don't do what I do. Be responsible for your own safety, please. But when you bend it, you just want to keep in mind that this is something that's supposed to hang on a wall. And so you want to make sure that you're taking that into consideration and making allowance for that. And by that, I mean, you want to make sure that you have areas that will theoretically work for you to attach hanging hardware. And personally, I also prefer to make sure that my hanging hardware is not visible. So all of those will be going into my mind or will be taken into consideration as I'm creating my form. But without further ado, let's get to work. So this is what we have, and I think it looks good. I think it looks interesting. I also kind of used the tape measure to roughly estimate where my hanging hardware would be. So if you're wondering why I was using the tape measure at all, that's why. But now that we've got the form, my next step is to cover this wire mesh with a layer of my plaster bandages, which I have right next to me. I will be doing this by wetting the plaster bandage with my brush and then using the brush to layer it over the mesh. And one thing I will mention is because the edges are really sharp, I will most likely have to go over the edges with another layer of wire mesh just because I know one layer will not be sufficient. So keep that in mind. But yeah, let's get to work. There's a layer of plaster bandages covering the wire mesh on one side. And as a next step, I have mixed up a thick batch of my joint compound mixture, which I will be applying on top of the plaster bandages. I will share some of that process today, and just keep in mind that going forward, my next couple of steps would be to continue to apply layers of plaster bandages on both sides of the sculpture. Given this is repetitive, I'll probably only share a couple of clips here and there, but you get the idea. today I'm really excited to finish the sculpture since I sanded. Um, Off camera, I went back in and kind of spot treated areas that I felt I could do better at or needed improvement. And after that, I added a coat of primer, which is a step you don't want to skip, especially if you're using the same kind of paints that I will be using in this video. I also added a layer of black paint. That step is completely optional, so feel free to skip. I like to do it because painting it black gives me a new perspective on the work I've been doing and helps me kind of make up my mind on if all the problem areas are resolved in the way that I'm satisfied with, or if there's still anything else I need to fix. Also, I find it a lot easier to find any spots that I have missed out in painting if it's dark. But again, like I said, it's completely optional. So today, what I will be doing is we'll be finishing off the sculpture. We'll be adding hanging hardware, which I've started to put together. So I've got pieces of plywood over here, and all I've done so far so good is to glue two of them together. And so per next steps, I will be drilling, well, not drilling, but I'll be screwing the hanging hardware in this case, which is a sawtooth hanger, to the plywood piece that I'm holding. And then we'll go ahead and glue that to the sculpture and paint. So I was able to add the hanging hardware to the plywood pieces that I have cut. Also, if you're wondering about the plywood, any kind of plywood should be fine. You just need to make sure that it's thick enough to hold the screw that you're driving in. In my case, my plywood is not thick enough, so that's why I glued two pieces together. Um, my next step would typically be to then glue this piece to the back of the sculpture. However, I did run out of my heavy duty construction adhesive, and I have one on the way to me at the moment, but it's not here yet. I'm saying all this to explain that you may not necessarily be able to see me glue this to the sculpture, but the idea remains the same. You figure out what the position you want, and then you add some glue, you glue it down, and you leave it be. But since I don't have the glue that I would love to use, I would just go right ahead and paint this sculpture today. As always, all of the links to all of the materials I will be using or I am using will be in the description box, so just check there if you have any questions as to materials. But without further ado, let's get to painting. So this is the finished work. I think it's beautiful. I think it's gorgeous. I also wanted to mention that I did not varnish this work because varnishing would actually dull the finish of the specific paint. So please keep that in mind. But overall, I hope that you found this tutorial to be helpful and engaging. And I will see you all in my next video. Bye.